Okay, next up, we'll hear from a youngster who has concerns about recreation areas around his own home. Check it out.
Mr. Mayor, why did I have to move my basketball court out of the street?
Well, Michael, let me begin by saying that it wasn't me in particular that asked you to move your basketball court off the street. You see, we have in Washington Township a local ordinance. That's really a local law that's been in effect for a number of years. It prohibits the placement of any freestanding structure on sidewalks and streets because it could interfere with passersby and traffic in people's neighborhoods. It's really a safety concern, Michael. We don't want kids or their basketball poles, hockey nets, and other sports equipment to be hurt or damaged by cars or trucks. Now, Michael, we're really not just talking about sports equipment here. This ordinance or law also pertains to things like trash cans, dumpsters, and other storage materials. We have to keep the streets and sidewalks clear so the street sweeper, leaf collection truck, snow plows, etc. can do their jobs and keep our streets clean and safe all the way up to the curb. So while you're going to have to practice those free throws and layups in the driveway from now on, if you'd like to meet me in the park, I'd be happy to shoot some hoops with you. Okay, next question.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. We were just wondering if there's any curfew during the summer for teens, and if so, how do you enforce it? Thank you.
Yes, Kathy, we do have a local ordinance with curfew guidelines for people under the age of 18. It's intended to keep our kids safe, and yes, we do enforce it. Not just during the summer months, but all year long. Here's how it works. Kids and teens are subject to curfews on Sundays through Thursdays between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, the curfew is extended an hour, so it's from midnight to 6 a.m. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, so let's just make it perfectly clear. That's 11 p.m. on school nights, Sunday through Thursday, and midnight on the weekends, Friday and Saturday. That's what time you have to be indoors, kids. Not at the playground, not out on the street, not in any public building or on any public property, but inside your home with a parent or guardian. Kathy, you asked how we enforce this law. Well, if our police officers receive a complaint or happen upon young people gathered in public areas and it's close to curfew time, the officers will ask the kids to disperse. Now, if the officers return and the kids are still out after curfew, they will be turned over to their parents or guardians. At that time, their parents will receive paperwork that serves as a first notice or warning. And in some cases, the police will actually transport juveniles directly to the police station. Their parents are then contacted, causing them to wake up and drive to the station to pick up their kids. That usually doesn't go over too well with their parents. If that same child is caught out after curfew again within 1 year, his or her parents will be charged with a complaint that will require a court appearance. This is pretty serious stuff, folks. I mean, let's face it, we were all young once. We know it's fun for kids to hang out late with their friends, but it's really not worth risking court appearances, legal fees, and most importantly, children's safety by violating the curfew. So here's a message to anyone under 18 hanging out in Washington Township. Set your watches and cell phones at 11 p.m. on school nights and midnight on weekends. Go home.